Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, friends. Jai Shri Ram. Welcome back to my Vedic Astrology channel, Astro Satyajit on YouTube. And today, in today's interaction, this live interaction, you would have already seen the title of this interaction. I have clearly marked it as that do we really get what we want in this lifetime? And yes, I was the one who told you that when we are talking about the results that we get through our karma, it is only Bhagwan, the Almighty, the God who is aware, or as per his wish is what are the results or whatever results gets manifested. It is Sri Hari to decide, and it doesn't depend on the karma every time that we are doing in this particular lifetime. Yeah, that's true. And I'm not going to deviate and I'm not going to digress. Yeah, that's point number one. I always say and I always said that Vedic astrology or the Vedic chart talks about the karma that you are here to perform. You can't every time extrapolate it to the results that you expect out of that karma. That is God to decide. However, we all have a part of God within us. We all agree this. We all talk that there is, Paramatma inside us. There is God within each of us. Each of the jivas have God within them. In Vedic astrology, we refer to it as the Atman, the Atma, or the soul. Okay, so there is a soul inside every jiva, and that Namaskar, Pranam, good evening, and that soul decides, or basically the God decides within us that what are the possible results, or what will be the results that we are going to get. Our liking and disliking, or our wishes and aspirations, okay? We all understand when we open up our Vedic chart, we refer to our personality from the, ascendant, descendant lord. The ascendant is our overall personality, it's the, the kind of surroundings and the circumstances that we will receive or we will get in this particular janma, in this particular lifetime. And the mortal self is definitely the ascendant lord in our Vedic horoscope. And yes, we might refer to the 10th house lord or the planet sitting in the 10th house to decide what kind of a karya or what will be the overall karma that I will perform here to achieve some kind of status, respect, and honor in society. And yes, my 11th house planets or my 11th house Lord would talk about the kind of desires and aspirations I am here to fulfill. Now, this is all at the material level, friends. This is the desires of the mortal self. Okay. This is our desire. This is what our body, mind desires. So the Sharira or the mortal body or the manas and the mind, whatever it desires in this janma, in this particular lifetime, we try and, do karma or put in hard work in that particular direction. And we try and apply our buddhi or our intelligence in that particular direction. Okay. However, nothing happens without God's will. We all understand this, and no two ways about it. How do we get to understand what is God's will? Are we, we have to be really evolved and become those Siddh Purush or the Siddh Mahilas for us to communicate with that superpower, with Almighty, for us to understand that what exactly, He wants us to do, or what is that He wants from this particular lifetime. The moment I say about Almighty, about Paramatma, I said that there is a Ansh, there is a part of Paramatma in each one of us that's called as Atma or the soul. Hence, the soul significator Okay, we all understand that the universal soul significator for all jivas is sun. However, there is a char atmakaraka or a dynamic movable atmakaraka in everyone's chart, and that's the planet placed at the highest highest degree in any rashi, and that planet qualifies to be your char or movable atmakaraka, or that planet becomes the soul significator. Okay, and this particular planet, Radhe Radhe, and this particular planet becomes the king, or this is, if I even may call, as this is the one who will be calling the shots. This is the king whose orders or whose mandate you have no choice but to follow. You have no choice at all. Let me be very clear. The Atmakaraka, whatever it wants you to do, you better not go against its will. Atmakaraka shows you the way which God wants you to choose in this particular janma. If you want sukha, if you want contentment, if you want real happiness, if you want prosperity in this particular janma, it is only the tasks that your Atmakaraka or the Char Atmakaraka or the soul significator planet is telling you, those are the karmas you are here to perform. I would request, you can, I will try and, use Hindi. I understand, Golu W. Sharma ji. And you also can use the subtitles in Hindi. That also will make life easier. However, let me reiterate, a bit of it. आपकी कुंडली में whichever planet, जो भी ग्रह सबसे ज्यादा डिग्री में विराजमान है, वो आपका चर आत्मकारक ग्रह कहलाता है. दैट इज योर सोल सिग्निफिकेटर. वो आपकी आत्मा को दर्शाता है. एंड इन दिस जन्मा आपको उसी आत्मा के कथन अनुसार या आत्मा की इच्छा अनुसार ही कर्म करने हैं. अगर सुख समृद्धि इस जीवन में आपको चाहिए, तो आप सोल सिग्निफिकेटर या अपने चर आत्म कारक को साइड में नहीं रख सकते. यू हैव टू फॉलो द मैंडेट वॉट एवर द सोल सिग्निफिकेटर हैज इन योर पर्टिकुलर हॉरोस्कोप. Let me show you through an example chart. So let's take Bill Gates chart. बिल्कुल गोलू डब्ल्यू शर्मा जी, मैंने यही कहा. सूर्य इज द सोल सिग्निफिकेटर फॉर ऑल जीवास. वो यूनिवर्सल सोल सिग्निफिकेटर है. सबकी आत्मा को रिप्रेजेंट, हर जीव की आत्मा को रिप्रेजेंट सूर्य देव करते हैं, सन करता है. हाउएवर, हर जातक या जातिका की कुंडली में देयर इज अ प्लैनेट सिटिंग एट द हाईएस्ट डिग्री, सबसे ज्यादा डिग्री में विराजमान ग्रह आपका चर आत्मकारक बनता है इस जन्म के लिए. आपने उसके निर्देश अनुसार इस जीवन को जीना है. एंड यू हैव टू डू कर्मा एज पर, और यू हैव टू फोकस ऑन द हाउसेस. जो 12 घर हैं आपके हॉरोस्कोप में, यू हैव टू फोकस ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर हाउस विच योर Char Atma Karak in this Janma wants you to follow. Now, in the case of Bill Gates, let's understand which is the planet, which is the sole significator, and what is the mandate the sole significator is giving to this Jatak, Bill Gates, in this particular example. So if you see, Bill Gates' chart is a Gemini ascendant, Mithun Lagna. And if you look at the degrees of all planets, you will find Saturn being at the highest degree, which is 28 degrees and 20 minutes. We will definitely cover that, Ms. Sanyal, the Atmakarka. Yes, it will definitely. I will, when I'm covering this topic, we will definitely be covering the Karakamsha, which is nothing but the Atmakarka placement in your D9. And we will also touch upon Amatya Karaka, which is the planet with the second highest degree, which becomes the minister to the king. So basically, he or will be that planet. Amatya Karaka will be that planet which is here to do all that which the Atma Karaka or the king wants in this particular Janma to be done. Now, coming back to the case of Bill Gates, I said Saturn happens to be the Atma Karaka or the Char Atma Karaka or the sole significator for Bill Gates in this particular Janma, the planet with the highest degree. Very beautiful Raj Yoga. You anyways could see it's one of those, grade 1 Raj Yogas of Gemini Rishi, Gemini Sutras, that the Amatya Karaka and the Atma Karaka are conjunct in the same house. And they are not just conjunct in the same house, they are hardly, degree and a half apart. It's a close conjunction. And it's so beautiful that Venus is in its own Rashi, okay? Saturn in the Rashi of its exaltation, okay? And Venus and Saturn are the best buddies in Vedic astrology. They are the best friends. They are the inseparable ones. They have unconditional love for each other. I've always been referring to Venus, Saturn being the best buddies, the best friends possible. Now, and fifth house is the house of creativity, is the house of creative intelligence, aesthetics, love, compassion. Now, just imagine, and sun, which is the universal soul significator. Now understand how beautifully things are planned. The king, the Char Atmakarak or the movable Atmakaraka Saturn is exalted in the fifth house. The planet with the second highest degree, the Amatya Karaka Venus, conjunct with the Atmakaraka in the same house, and that happens to be its own Rashi. And you also have Sun, which is the universal soul significator for all jivas in the fifth house, conjunct that beautiful conjunction. Whenever you will have a connect between the Atma Karaka and the Amatya Karaka in your D1 chart, that's a grade 1 Raj Yoga, a Gemini Raj Yoga. It's a beautiful Raj Yoga as per Gemini Sutras. The king and the minister are aligned to carry out the task together. Whatever the king wants, beautifully is the minister aligned. And when two planets who are friendly to each other, like in this case, Venus and Saturn, when both the Atma Karaka and the Amatya Karaka are placed in one of those very potent and positive houses, it may be the first house, fifth house, the ninth house, or the Kendra Sthans, the first, fourth, seventh, and 10th. It definitely has that divine or intervention or God's grace prevailing over them. It's a beautiful Lakshmi Sthan in which the Atmakarka Saturn is conjunct Damatyakarka. So just continue to add one level, which will, this is how we get to see what grade of Raj Yoga is this. Many of us might have the Atmakarka and the Amatyakarka conjunct in our Vedic horoscope, in our D1 chart, but maybe that conjunction is in a difficult house. Maybe that conjunction is in a inimical Rashi, where those two planets, even if though they are conjunct, they are not comfortable. It may be Rashis of debilitation. It may be, Rashis of enemies, or it may be those Trik bhavas where that conjunction is happening. I'm not saying that it will not manifest as a Raj Yoga if it's a Atma Karaka and Amatya Karaka being conjunct. But if, it becomes more beautiful when it is, getting formed in a Rashi which is comfortable for both the Atma Karaka as well as the Amatya Karaka. It is happening in one of those positive houses like the Lakshmi Sthans, maybe the ninth house, maybe the fifth house, or maybe the Lagna itself. And at times, you will also have charts where the Lagna Lord or the Ascendant Lord, okay, which is your mortal self, is this planet with the highest degree. So that means that same planet not only qualifies to be your mortal self, which is your sharir, but it also qualifies to be your soul significator, which is the Atma. So there is beautiful alignment with between what the sharir wants and what the Atma wants in this lifetime. That's the biggest blessing one can be born with. If their ascendant lord is well placed and the ascendant lord happens to be the Atma Karaka, or maybe basically when I say Atma Karaka, so the planet with the highest degree. So the king or the God himself, which is within us, the Atma, the planet is both our physical self and the God within us. So it's very beautifully aligned in this particular Janma that whatever the Atma is seeking in this particular Janma, that's exactly what the Sharir or what the mortal self wants in this particular Janma. There is absolute harmony because they are the same planet. Okay. Now, if the king is in the fifth house, and I also have another, okay, because I do understand that when I come in for these live interactions, and yes, everyone wants me to pick up their uh, chart and answer a few questions about them. And I also see some of my regular viewers and subscribers. Yes, I thank and appreciate each one of you, and even all my new viewers who might be listening to me, listening to this interaction. Thank you so much. And I would request you to subscribe if you have not already subscribed to my channel. However, there are two things. If I keep on picking up these questions, or maybe if I have to punch in details and if I open up your individual charts, I can take you through a particular concept, whatever we are discussing. So in today's case, maybe if we are discussing the Atmakaraka, so I can always pull out, a particular chart, or I can take a particular chart as an example and explain you. However, at times what happens is that the questions are not just limited to the particular topic or the concept I'm explaining in our interaction. And I understand we as humans will be always curious, and we would want to know how things might get unfold or how things will get unfolded. And, definitely I am contemplating seriously. There have been suggestions or maybe certain requests I have received in the past that maybe I will break these interactive sessions in two different, I would say, phases, or if not phases, in two different buckets. So in one, I cover the topic where I am explaining a particular concept, which today's topic is Atmakarka, the king of our chart, and exactly how it tells what we are here to get, what we are here to receive, what we are here to give. And that's exactly talks about, or that controls majorly the kind of results we are supposed to get through our karma. I can also take live questions and I can answer questions for you in this live forum. And maybe if you are all okay, I can do it on a chargeable basis so that I have genuine questions coming up, and genuine astrology believers or astrology enthusiasts only, utilize that particular session. And because yes, I can't expect each of you to come and take a personal consultation from me, which you can always do by either contacting me on my WhatsApp number, which I usually put in all my video descriptions. The WhatsApp number being 99710 77155. Or you can also contact me through my website, which is astrosatyajit.com. Astro Satyajit, the same way I spell my channel in YouTube. That's the same, astrosatyajit.com, that you need to visit, and you can book yourself a consultation. It may be a 30-minute short reading. It can be a 1 hour reading or a 2 hour reading, depending on your requirement. And you may also, register with me for Vedic astrology course, where I am about to begin one of my new batches. And I've kept it very simple. So we'll continue the journey for maybe 2 years, where I give in, or it's a uh, kind of a diploma or a graduate program in Vedic astrology, where we start from the basic and we reach to the advanced levels in Vedic astrology, where you people may even choose to use astrology as a profession, where you do your consultations and readings for people. And even if you don't pick it up, definitely astrology will tell you what is the karma you are here to perform, what is the karma your loved ones are here to perform, and you'll be able to not only just guide yourself, but guide your family and your loved ones. And you can contact me for that astrology course also on my WhatsApp number. And it's a monthly enrollment program. Friends, if any one of you, for any reasons, if you don't find it of use, or maybe uh, it's not matching your expectations, the course, the format that I follow, the kind of teachings I might be doing in my course, so you can always opt out. And it's a 6,000 rupees per participant per month, where I would take classes, once a week, and it can be over weekends. So there'll be 4 to 6 classes, or maybe 6 to 8 classes in a month. Okay, depending on. So that structure is at least 8 classes. However, if a particular class is extended for a particular day, because usually we will schedule, it's a 2 hour kind of a class, and we would target 8 such classes every month. So it's a 16-hour kind of a program that everyone goes through of Vedic astrology. So it's 16 hours of lecture, or 16 hours of interaction. Let me put it very simple, because these are all live Zoom classes through which I conduct the classes on Vedic astrology. It's absolutely, not a monologue. Yes, certain literature, certain, teachings, or certain basics I would be explaining, but it's an open session. I appreciate questions coming up, and I clarifying those questions, or giving you answers there and then. So you people can always reach out to me on my WhatsApp number if you really wish to enroll to my Vedic astrology program, where I teach Vedic astrology live on Zoom. Okay. And I told you it's a 6,000 rupee per participant per month. So as you continue with the complete 2-year degree program, you may refer it to a degree or a diploma program. You continue to pay every month, and the continuity is there. So I would request my viewers, my subscribers, to please feel free to reach me on my WhatsApp number. And if you really wish to register for the astrology program, I would then individually share my, details with you, where you may like to use any of your UPI apps to make the payment for the course, or you can do bank transfers. So do let me know, or do reach out to me if any one of you wish to join my Vedic astrology course. And as far as the questions in the live sessions are concerned, I can always start, a live, I would say, question answer session, wherein I can put in a small amount, maybe 501 rupee to start with per question. And you can pay through any of the UPI handles. I can share my number, the mobile number on which you have to make those UPI payments. And real time, if you go ahead and send and make a payment to me, I would straight away take your questions in the live forums. So I hope you all will appreciate, and it's a genuine request. People who are genuinely seeking astrological guidance, who genuinely are in a situation where they would want me to guide them, they can always approach me for those personal reading sessions. However, during these forums also, I am okay if 510 sounds okay to all of you as a fee per question. Then I can open it up for you, and I can always make my mobile number available, to which you can make those UPI payments, and I will take up your live questions, the paid live questions, and I would answer those questions, taking good 5-10 minutes each, depending on what question you ask me, and I would do complete justice to that particular question based on your Vedic chart. Do let me know your thoughts, friends. And coming back to our discussion, if the Atmakarka, as we said in this example, the soul significator, is in the fourth house, is in the fifth house rather, in this example, now you would also have to look at that whatever happens from the fifth, you have to focus on the things of the fifth. And maybe you have to let go things. I'm again saying you have to let go things, in this particular case, of the 10th. You may have to let go things of the 12th, and you may have to also let go things of the 4th. So why I'm saying this, wherever your soul significator, the Atmakaraka, the Char Atmakaraka is placed in your horoscope, you tend to, miss out on things which are governed by the houses which are sixth from the Atmakaraka, the placement of the Atmakaraka. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 10th house of Bill Gates' horoscope becomes the sixth from his Atmakaraka Saturn. The 12th house in Bill Gates' horoscope becomes the 8th house from the Atmakaraka. And the 4th house in Bill Gates' chart becomes the 12th house from the Atmakaraka. So there is special, or rather extra vigilant or extra careful you need to be when you are referring to the Karak Tattvas or the things that these particular houses represent. You have to follow utmost integrity and high standards of ethic, high ethical standards to be maintained while we are doing any karma related to the houses which are sixth from the Atmakaraka, which are eighth from the Atmakaraka, and which is 12th from the Atmakaraka. And we have to be extremely vigilant and careful for the eighth house for sure. So you have to follow highest level of integrity. You cannot end up doing any foul play, any wrongdoing with related to that particular house which falls eighth from your Char Atma Karaka. Remember this for life. Okay? And Ms. Sanyal just referred. So you also have to now look at the Atma Karaka, which is Saturn in this particular example. Go to the Navamsha. Look at the Rashi where the Atmakarka is. Now again, another beauty. See, these are not just mere coincidences. The moment we will open up charts of legends, the other day while we were discussing that legend or leaving a legacy, so I picked up or I gave you examples of the chart of Mahatma Gandhi. Today, another legend, another person who is immortal or who will become who has been able to achieve amratya. So this is one name whose name will be remembered for generations to come. Okay, one of them is Bill Gates. Yes. Now just see why I am saying this. Atmakarka and Amatyakarka Raj Yoga, as I said, the king and the minister together. So the agenda is absolutely clear, and the minister with full strength will be working, uh, in alignment with the king. But just now imagine, there is a term or there's a concept of Karakamsha. Karakamsha is what? Karakamsha is the soul path. The karma, the soul is here to perform. Understand it this way. Okay. Saturn is present in Mithun Rashi, is present in Gemini, in the D9 horoscope of Bill Gates. You refer to your Atma Karaka in your horoscope. Look at the zodiac or the Rashi, which the Atma Karaka is placed in a respective Navamsha or D9, and just rotate your D1 chart with that particular sign. That shows the soul karma or the soul or the path or the karma which the soul is here to perform. See, the D1 chart normally talks about when we are referring to just the D1 chart. So that talks about the material plane. Whatever we are here to get and receive, whatever we may desire, whatever we may do, whatever we may aspire, all on the material level is shown by the normal D1 chart, which is nothing but your ascendant Lagna Kundli. However, the Kara Kamsha Lagna shows the soul path or the karma the soul is here to perform in this particular Janma. So blessed will be individuals who will have their Atma Karaka, like in the case of Bill Gates, Saturn being the Atma Karaka, by the virtue of being placed in Gemini. Gemini will become the Karakamsha. That means I don't have to change the Lagna. I would simply rotate this chart from the same sign, which is Gemini. That means I am not changing the chart at all, which tells me in the case of Bill Gates. Now just look at this. In the case of Bill Gates, his Lagna Kundli and his Karakamsh Lagna, both are the same charts. That means whatever at the material level the karmas are seen, or whatever Bill Gates is here to perform in the material level, exactly that is what his soul is also here to, do or carry out at the spiritual level, at the soul level. So the karma of the mortal self and the karma of the soul or I would say, path, the karmic path of the mortal self and the karmic path of the soul are the same. It's not about beautifully being aligned. They are exactly the same because the Karakamsh Lagna happens to be the Lagna itself. Now, just imagine these will be, okay, let's pick up Mahatma Gandhi's chart and let's understand, do we see something similar? Do we see some alignment? Here, who's the sole significator? We see the sole significator in the case of Mahatma Gandhi is Moon, the planet with the highest degree in the 10th house. The soul is here focusing on the 10th house, which is karma. Okay. We may refer it as a Gajkesari yoga. Okay. And the Gajkesari yoga, why it will give results? Understand this. It's not just because Jupiter and Moon are in Kendras from each other in the D1, so it will qualify as a Gajkesari yoga. Yes, it's a moon in its own Rashi. Jupiter being in the 7th house is giving, its aspect to the 11th, to the 3rd, and to the Lagna. So the Lagna is being blessed. However, now look at Jupiter becomes the Amatya Karaka, the minister, the planet with the second highest degree. Just see, Moon is 28 degree, 46 minutes. Jupiter is 28 degree and 8 minutes. Absolutely, same, almost the same degrees, few minutes. And they are making a connection. A Gajkesari yoga. Yoga is nothing but a connection that is getting established. And it is this not a mere superficial connection on the material level on the Lagna chart. That connection remains in the Navamsha. See, Jupiter is in its Mool Trikon Rashi. And Moon now moves into from its own Rashi to Jupiter in Rashi, which is Pisces. The Gajkesari yoga still continues. The Jupiter still continues to be in the 10th house from the Moon. See, Jupiter, Moon is in Pisces. So 7, 8, 9, 10. Jupiter continues to be in a Kendrasthan from Moon. So that means the Gajkesari yoga is genuinely there. The Gajkesari yoga continues to be in there's a connect between Moon and Jupiter continues in the Shashti Amsha also. Moon in Mesha Rashi or in Aries, Jupiter in Mool Trikon Rashi, Sagittarius. So again, there is a connection, 5-9 connection, Pancham Navam connection, a trinal connection that continues in the Shashti Amsha between Jupiter and Moon. The Gajkesari yoga continues in the Navamsha. That means really the Atma Karaka and the Amatya Karaka are connected. Now see, the Atma Karaka is in Mesha, is in which Rashi we said? It is in 12, Pisces, Moon being the Atma Karaka. Now let's move or rotate this chart. Now this is the chart which is the Karakamsha for Mahatma Gandhi. This is the Karakamsha Lagna. We just looked at Moon, which is the Atma Karaka in the case of Mahatma Gandhi. We looked at which Rashi Moon has moved. So it is in Pisces. We just make Pisces as the Lagna. And this talks about the soul journey or the karma that the soul is here to perform. Now you could see the planets which are so strong in the 8th house. 8th house Lord being in the 8th, the 9th house Lord in the 8th, the 7th house Lord in the 8th. The sole purpose, and it is a lot of struggles. It is not mere bed of roses for Mahatma Gandhi. The soul purpose or the soul path or the karmic path the soul is here to perform or wants the body to carry out is losing out, or having a lot of struggles and transformation the person has to go through, from a barrister to Mahatma Gandhi, from the riches to leading an absolutely renouncing almost every material thing and living an absolute ordinary life. This how beautifully you get to see what the soul is here to perform, which are the houses you need to focus on. Karakamsha Lagna. And every time you might not find examples as Bill Gates where it is not going through transformation. See, the eighth house is not heavy. Rather, the 12th has a beautiful Ketu. So it is, kind of a moksha, kind of a yoga. The planet which represents moksha is in the house which talks about moksha, or is in the moksha trikon, 4th, 12th, 8th, and 12th. And a 12th house Ketu is beautiful for spiritually being evolved. So this is not talking about that struggle and the jail yatras and the bandhans and a lot of other pains that the mortal self has to go through to complete its karmic purpose, the soul purpose. In the case of Mahatma Gandhi, yes, we definitely see this becoming extremely heavy. The eighth house has a say. So this is the importance of the Karakamsha Lagna. Okay. So today, I just touched upon how you see those charts, which I just said that if somebody really wants me to pick up their chart in the live session, I said I may start doing it on a chargeable basis, and it will be 510 rupees per question. And you might like to pay through any UPI app. If you people are okay, I can share my UPI number or the mobile number which is attached to my bank accounts and those UPI apps. And I will be more than happy to take up those live questions in these sessions. Now, you guys need to tell me that does it sound like a good proposition, or I continue just randomly taking, at times if time allows, and if I think that that particular concept or topic that I'm referring to, if I pick up an example chart from the live session, one of your charts, I will be able to just explain that in more detail. But if you really want me to answer certain specific questions or a particular aspect about your life, I still think we'll be doing justice. So I've already, okay. Uh, I am doing it as a gesture, and I do understand and appreciate that 510 rupees may sound as a higher fee. And if you're expecting me to lower it any further, again, might not be possible, might not be the right thing I will do with my existing clientele. Because if you go to my website, which is astrosatyajit.com, you will find out that I do a complete 2-hour life and soul path reading for 15,000 rupees per horoscope. I do a 1-hour life reading session for 10,500 rupees per horoscope, and a short follow-up reading or maybe a short reading for 30 minutes. I do it for 6,000 rupees per horoscope. And this 501 rupee for a 10-minute kind of a session is absolutely not in line with my consultation charges for my half an hour short reading or any of the other readings that I do, maybe a 1-hour reading or a 2-hour reading. The 510 I only thought of keeping so that I have those genuine people seeking astrological guidance from me during these live sessions, and I can take their questions. And not only it helps the entire audience to understand how we use this beautiful science to guide, to coach, or to help, or to show the path to people. But again, if you people think that even 510 won't work out, then I'm really sorry. I would definitely continue to spread the learning and the knowledge that I have been able to gather over the last 23 years through these forums and sessions, through these live interactive sessions on YouTube. But maybe, the paid per question thing won't work out unless and until, as I said, it's 510 per question, and you people can leave your comments. Yes, that's what I said. It's 510 rupee per question, and I said that I will give, yes, 10 to 12 minutes. Maybe I just use that word. It can also, depending on that particular question, it might go up for a 15-minute kind of a session. But yes, I will not extend it beyond 10 to 15 minutes. Otherwise, the concept for which I might come live, that will get sidelined, and I will only end up doing, these live paid consultations for you. So, yeah. So do let me know. And today on this topic, I would want you to refer to your own charts, find out the planet with the highest degree. You can always leave a comment, okay? Which is that planet which is of the highest degree in your respective horoscope. And while you're doing this, please remember that please do not exclude Rahu. Okay. Rahu very much qualifies to be the Atmakaraka. And yes, there are two schools of thoughts. But please look at your respective charts. Leave your comment if you find Rahu as your Atmakaraka. And I would not only, cover in our future, interactions, each planet, what it denotes when it becomes or qualifies to be your Atmakaraka. So I will cover each planet, then I will cover the Atmakaraka placement in each of the houses, or we can do it together. Once I'm covering a particular planet as an Atmakaraka, I will see if I can also club it with the house placements in your D1 horoscope, or maybe the placement in your Karakamsha Lagna, because that's even more significant when we are talking about the sole purpose of the Atmakaraka, or the soul path, or the karma the soul is here to perform. For Rahu, let me put it very clear. Whatever degrees you will find your respective Rahu in your horoscope. So in the case of Bill Gates, if I see 24 degrees and 53 minutes as Rahu, so this is not the degrees that it has actually traveled, but it is 30 minus 24 degrees and 53 minutes what the Rahu for Bill Gates has traveled. So it is not 24, 53. It is actually 4 degrees and 7 minutes, or rather 5 degrees and 7 minutes is what the Rahu has traveled. Because remember, Rahu and Ketu are always in retrograde motion. So her Rahu enters a Rashi not at 0 degrees, and it doesn't move towards 30. It enters a Rashi at exactly at the 30-degree mark, which is like 29 degree, 59 minutes and 59 seconds. And it continues to move backwards. And then again, from that 29, 59, 59, it reaches to 0, and then it enters into the previous Rashi again. Okay. So the distance traveled, or when we have to look at the highest degree planet, please remember to subtract the degrees of Rahu from 30. And then if you get Rahu as the Atmakaraka, or the planet with the highest degree, yes, it will qualify to be your Atmakaraka. However, if Rahu does not fit into the Atmakaraka, I would request that currently don't consider Rahu as any of the other remaining 7 or 8 char karakas that we have, because we would touch on these karakas. Okay, but currently we will first look at the Atma Karaka, we will look at the Amatya Karaka. So we would want to understand what the king wants, what the king mandate is, and we will focus on the minister, which is the Amatya Karaka, how the person, that minister will carry out the karma which the king wants us to do in this Janma. So please look at your respective charts, look at your loved one's charts and identify your Atma Karaka Graha. Refer to the Rashi placement of that Atmakaraka Graha in your Navamsha. Whichever Rashi you find your Atmakaraka Graha in your Navamsha, please rotate your normal D1 chart with that Rashi as Lagna, and that will become your Karakamsha Lagna. That exactly will talk about the karma the soul is here to perform. So with this, let me pause today's interaction. And as I would humbly request each of you, each of my viewers, to please subscribe to my channel if you have not already subscribed to Astro Satyajit. Please like my videos. Please do comment, leave your suggestions. Please share my videos with other astrology enthusiasts in other different forums. Help me expand this family of Astro Satyajit on YouTube. And God bless you all. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Jai Shri Ram doston.